Today we are going to study one more important topic, that is
Water governance and water policy. That it is This chapter is continuation of integrated water resource management. In the last chapter, we discussed about what is integrated water resource management, everything, and what is the legal framework for that governance systems. It's what we can say. Governance means it's right or governing that water system. That is called water governance. And water governance refers to the political, social, economical system that influence of water use and management. That we can say that water governance. So we can say the political, and all we know that one it's a major role in that political water governance, and social also, that each and every public they should involve in that governing authority, and economical in financial aspect, everything system that influence of water use and management. It is very essential in our daily life, and in that many parameters will come. It is like what and when, how, who has the right to use, and what is the service and what is the benefits. That everything will comes. And the main important part, equity, that is also very important. Equity means um, socio uh, life. It means socio-economical. It means everyone, each and everyone, they should get water, whether he is having whether he is a poor or rich. That is doesn't matter. But each and everyone should get water. When we are planning that governance, since water governance, so some legal system also they are bringing. So in according to that, we can plan it. What kind of governance system is required for that one? That everything is included in the water governance system. The governing water is very important. So because in this system we can conserve the water, and we can use we can use it for future any scarcity happens in that time. So that is the one major role in that water governance. So here the module 4, that water governance and water policy chapter. And what do you mean by water governance? First, water governance. Governance means governing the field. So that is very much important. Governing, because we are taking the authority of that water. So if it is water is having in public field, so we can say and we can apply some law for that water, and some legal system. If we are having, we can say that water is belongs to government, and you should take water from this time to that time, and we can say that you can't take, you're not supposed to take more water from that well, because it will affect near of wells. So that kind of rule we can implement. If it is having public private field, what is the condition? So that kind of system is there, that kind of some challenges is there for implementing water governance system and water law. So we are oftenly if you are going, if you are if any cases happens, we are going for lawyer. They are telling that article 360 or article 205, article 147, different article is there, that is related to criminal offense or anything different offense. But we oftenly ask related to water law, we don't know what is the legal system is there for water. So that we need to discuss, we need to study about that, because since being a civil engineer, we need to know what is the system is there, water law, what is the law is there uh, uh, for water. So water law, what is the water law, that is we need to study. That is called water policy or water law. It comes under in this chapter, what is the law is there for water. Suppose if we care, if you are having one private property, in that one borewell is there, so you are getting sufficient water in that borewell, then also you are trying to, you are planning to dig one more bore. So again you are planning to one more bore, like that. in the small area, if you are if it is even agricultural field or any field, you are taking more and more bore wells, means automatically it will affect for groundwater. Is it right? Right? Yes, automatically it will affect for groundwater. So that, but human system, human psychology is like that. How much we are always expecting more from the nature also. It means if we are if we are having sufficient quantity of water, then also we are not happy with that. We want more and more water. So again we are trying to dig boreholes, and again we are planning to dig one more open well, like that. Open well, there is not any rule, legal system, but bore well we are having some systems, some legal system is there. But one tragedy is there, that system is not working proper way. The groundwater law is there, but in our field, in Indian system, that law is not working. Because why? That all the owners or landlords, they're trying to dig borewells in their field. So in their field, if you are planning to dig one borewell, means if someone else obligate, then who cares? No one cares then, and it will not implement also. So that kind of system is there in water governance or water law. So that reason he is not executing that work, the water law for groundwater. So because the system is like that. So but we can bring some rule related to that one. What kind of rule it means? So in this area, in this village, some limitation we can keep. Only this much borewell you should take. So more than that you are not supposed to take. It will affect groundwater. So that kind of system we can bring it. So some legal system what is there related to water. It's the same like groundwater. Some what is the legislation system is there, that we can study in this study. The same thing water governance I can say in legal system, because we are having tertiary of related to the, if suppose one river is there, it flowing not only in the same state, it passing through the state. Some if suppose if Kaveri starts from Talakaveri, from that Kodagu district, and again is passing in our state and it reaches to Tamil Nadu, right? So it crosses our boundary. So again that what dispute will create. The same border dispute what we are having in that state wise or in national wise, in Kashmir issue, what is there, same like river issue also there in every district inside our country. So how that Kaveri issue we can solve? So that is the one that national law should bring for that one, because right of equity, we can say that everyone is having a right to take water, but not having any right to own it. Everyone is having right to take water, but no one is having right to own it, that water. So that reason some law they are bringing. So everyone, if that any dispute creates, we are going for court, and some article law they are fixed related to the boundary issue of water. So according to that they can give some judgment. So that law is there. It's not only national level or state level or local level, it's international level also we can say. This Indus river is there, it's passing border of, it's starting from India and it crosses Pakistan, then it reaches to China. There is also international law is there for that water. National law is there, international law is there, is a local level also some law is there. Local level also, what mean, if any disputes create, water level disputes comes, we will going for near of stations, for solve that one. So generally the police will tell, so you can't stop take water for someone else. if anything, if it is having your private private property water also, you can't take, you can't, you not supposed to tell someone else you don't take water from that, because it's having right to, each and every person having right to take water from any area, from that any places. We can't say you not, you don't, you're not supposed to take water from my property. Some system is there, some legal adjustment is there, but thing is like that, it's not. So that reasons no one is telling to, they, no one is obligating to take water from their property, but they are creating different issue. But these things will happens generally in our place, in our local system. So water is the main basic needs for a human. So almost, of course, it will create lot of issue related to that taking on the, when we are passing the border of that our state. If we are collecting some water, we are not sufficient, we are not happy in that water, we want more water, because demand is more, supply is less. So that reasons, whenever its demand is more is come, when we are not ready to give water from that, because it's passing water from our boundary, we are not ready to give water from our place to next place, next state. So that kind of system is will come, and that kind of dispute will create. Even not only our districts, if you say that in it's in our you can say in Kerala also the same thing happened, in dam issues there, and in our Karnataka also that Kaveri issues there. Later we'll discuss about that one. In national level, see that that will passing our boundary some river, again it will some issues there. So whatever water, it's before reaching to the sea, before reaching to the sea, we need to collect that water, and we have to take that water, and we have to take maximum benefit from that water. So that is the main agenda, main intention of each and every person of human being. So that reasons everyone is trying to stop that water, and in the different method is there. They are constructing dams. We can't construct a dam also everywhere. That is also some legal system is there for that. Also legal system is there. If you are having some rights, you can't stop dams. That is also some legal system is there. So dam is, if you want to construct a dam, so we need some permission from that nearest irrigation department. So they need to check whether it is useful or not, because dam is not a small structure, it is a huge structure. So that everything we need to study, and everything we need to make some preliminary study of that also. So that reason water governance and water policy, what I said. So that reason we are that water governance should take some private authority also, not only the government, the private authorities also, they can take some initiative related to that, and they bring some law or some systems to control the water waste and water pollution. It will give much what we can say, in much savings of water. It will save water more, and that is conservation of water also, it is important. That related to everything that is related to water governance topic. So we'll discuss in this more and more in this chapter, and this theory part, in the lot of question 1, 2 and 3 question will come related to water governance and water policy. So we need to study some articles related to water governance and water policy. As we discussed about groundwater law, ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲಾ, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಇಂಪೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಆಲ್ local level and national level, because what happens now, groundwater law if we are implemented, we can we can maintain the groundwater level, or else what will happen if lot of water scarcity future we may expect, because groundwater comprises collection and collective action of ensure and control and protection and social sustainable utilization of utilization for the benefit of human use. So that reasons we need to conserve the, that if we are maintaining the groundwater level, it will automatically it will benefit for the human use. So that reasons we need to maintain some, we need to implement, we need to impose some groundwater law. So what generally what happen, where that private property owner, they are having some bore wells, again they were trying to dig 2 or 3 borewells, because the one borewell is enough for agricultural activities, but they are not satisfying in that one borewell. Again they are trying to dig more and more borewells. So that things what happens, so it will affect for near of the place, and automatically it will groundwater depletion is occurs. So this for control of that, we need to implement some groundwater law. But it's generally already we are having that groundwater law, but it's not properly working, or it's not properly implementing, because what happens now, the landlords those are having, they're having that property, that is their private property, their own land. So in that they are doing some activities related to groundwater digging or any kind of activities. We can't tell them don't take more bore wells, and it will affect for near of the wells. We can't teach them, because they're their property, and we can't interpret our rules for them. So that reasons that is groundwater law in Indian system is not working. So that we need proper one systematical law for that groundwater law, then only we can maintain. That is not only problem for groundwater, it is always problem for equity also, social equity. For why it means, why I am using that word means social equity means those who are having such property is treated as inequitable property. It means those who are having borewells, and they're taking 2 or 3 more borewells, means automatically it affect near of the area I said earlier. It means that those who are having money, the rich people, they can take more borewells and they can dig more water and they can utilize that water. What about the poor people? Automatically that groundwater level depletion takes place near of their open wells. So they're not getting enough quantity of water because of this reason. So this we are calling social inequitable or social inequitable property. The main agenda of the water governance means equity, water equity, because generally they are telling water you can use it, but don't it like you can use it, but they're not permitting own it. Government is not permitting own it, because everyone is having right to take water, but no one is having right to own it. That kind of system is there in water governance. And at the same time what we said, that some law it should be implement related to the groundwater, then only we can say the groundwater system is working, or not only groundwater, all the water is under control of some authority, if we can say the water governance. So that is called water governance and water policy. So what I said no, in that I can say ಯಾವುದೇ ವಾಟರನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದಾಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ವಾಟ್ರಿಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ತರಬೇಕು, ಲಾ ತರಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಷ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾರು ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 4-5 ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ತೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ, ತೋಟದಲ್ಲಿ, ಮನೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಸೆಲ್ಫಿಶ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ರೂಲ್ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರು ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಆದರೆ ಯಾರೂ ಅದನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ತೆಗಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡೇ ನಾವು ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ತರಬೇಕು. ಯಾರೂ ಅದರ ರೈಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಸೌತ್ ಕೆನರಾದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಜನರಲಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನಮ್ಮದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಅದು ನೀರು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ 2-3 ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟು ಸೇಮ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಎಕ್ಯುಫರ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಯುಫರಿಂದ ನೀರು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಯುಫರ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀರು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪುವರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್? ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಓಪನ್ ವೆಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಓಪನ್ ವೆಲ್ ನೀರು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಿಟೇಬಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಥರ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ವಾಟರ್ ಗವರ್ನೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ತರಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ವಾಟರ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಲಾ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಲಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲಿದೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಲೋಕಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಆ ಲಾವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಕಳ್ಳತನ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಯಾವ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದರೂ ರಾಬ್ರಿ ಇದು ಕೋಮು ಗಲಭೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಏನು ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರಿಗಾದರೂ ಹಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಏನು ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ನೀರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಲಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಲಾ ಇದೆ. ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ವಾಟರ್. I think some places in our place or in our South Canara regions, they are having private property. They are restricting. Someone is coming to their land and they are taking water. But actually law, it permits. They don't have, like if they are not having water someone, and it's like it's not necessary to ask permission also. That kind of rule is there. And next we will go for legal framework. Ideally should deal with entire water body, all countries or basins water resources. ಇದೊಂದು ಲೀಗಲ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಂದರೆ ಕಾನೂನಾತ್ಮಕವಾದ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಧತಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ವಾಟರನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೀರನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಗ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಬಾರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದು ತಲಕಾವೇರಿಯಿಂದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಾಗಿ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡಿಗೆ ಸೇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಟಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಾಗುವಾಗ ಮತ್ತು ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ಬಾರ್ಡ್ರ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ನೀರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಜಗಳ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾನೂನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಕೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 360, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 147, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 246 ಅಂತ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಲಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಾತ್ಮಕವಾದ ಒಂದು ಲಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ವಾಟರ್ಗೆ. ಆ ಲಾ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಮಗೆ ಅವರು ಬಾರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರಿನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆದಾಗ ಯಾವ ವಾಟರ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಯಾವ ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಲಾ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಲಾನ ನಾವು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಅದರ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಇದು ಹೊಡೆದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಲಾ ಬೇಕು, ಲೀಗಲ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಆವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಈಗ ವಾಟರ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರೋದು, ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇರೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಇಂಡಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ರಿವರ್ ಅದು ಪಾಸಾಗಿ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನದ ಥ್ರೂ ಚೈನಾಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನದವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾ ಇದೆ, ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಾಟರ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಲಾ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಇಸ್ 3 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಇಂಪೋಸ್. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಈಗ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. That is, I will explain again. The legal framework ideally should deal with entire water body, all our countries or basins water resources. It means legal framework we should develop in all places, all level. It means national level, local level, and international level. Why means if one river is passing, for example, one our Kaveri river is origin from Talakaveri, and it's run throughout the Karnataka and passes some of places of the Karnataka, not throughout the Karnataka. It passes the Karnataka and after it reaches to Tamil Nadu. When it crosses the Tamil Nadu, we are constructing one dam, right? No, so in that dam we are storing the water. But that some rule is there. You should store this much only. After the excess water we are supplying to the, we are opening the gate and it reaches Tamil Nadu. But sometimes Tamil Nadu people they are creating some issue because we want more water. We should release water more because we are already fixing this much TMC water is there. So this one we are using. We are the Kaveri, its origin from in Tarakaveri and it passes some of the places in Karnataka and finally it crosses our Karnataka state and it reaches to Tamil Nadu. So, but we are already having one dam. In that we are constructing, we are storing all the water and some excess water we can supplying for the Tamil Nadu. But sometimes they are demanding more water. Generally, the legal system is there. You should supply only this much water for them. But sometimes they are asking more water. But we are not supplying more for them because we had already had one legal system already developed and they are already informed us every year you should supply this much TMC of water. But then sometimes they were asking more water means it will create dispute among us and what happens, who will solve this problem? Court only, and we are going for court to solve this issue. At that time what happens, they should have some legal law or water law to solve these kind of systems. So that reasons legal framework is very much necessary for water law. That here they are specified. It is not only our national level or state level, it should be developed in local level also. We know that many of problems creating in local level more than this because every day that people are fighting for water. So then first they will go for station and they tell to solve this issue. But already as I told, we are having a right to drink, we are right to take water, but we are not having any right to own it. That kind of law is there. Sometimes legal framework is there. That is very important. And also there important point there specified it. The second point, legal framework should be transparent, flexible and capable of evolving to meet changing the circumstances. Some consequences, some systems, legal system, we should have some flexibility because we don't know the circumstances. Sometimes what happen we don't know. We can't stick for that legal law. Sometimes we need to make some flexibility in that law and sometimes we need to make some transparent in that law because the main agenda is our inner states, our state level dispute. It will create huge problem for country level. So that reasons sometimes what happens, they're making some flexibility in that law and they're pleasing to the states to release more water. It will because the main agenda is that clearing that dispute. So these things they're specified here. Legal framework should be transparent, flexible and capable of evolving to meet changing the circumstances. Always we can't stick for that law. Sometimes for water law, sometimes we should have some flexibility in that law. Then only we can meet it proper, we can solve it the dispute. So finally, water to be finite valuable resources, an economic good and natural resource having cultural, social and environmental values. Water is a very much essential for our life. So we should conserve the water and also some equity manner we should supply. because as we discussed, the water should get each and everyone in our day-to-day life. Then only we can say the water is in equity manner the supplying. The distribution of water is very much essential and very much important. And next, implementation and enforcement mechanisms should be selected to accommodate differences in national circumstances, recognizing the complexity of water management and to be aimed at facilitating compliances. Dispute avoidance and settlement mechanisms are part of the implementation and enforcement spectrum. The legal framework, as I told before, in that time you can't stick for that law every time. We should make some flexibility in that law, and final our agenda is you should clear dispute in between among us, because if we are having the most of dispute means in our Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, it will automatically affect for economical relationship and financial relationship, everything. That reasons the legal framework water law we should make. Sometimes we can give more water for them, but we can stick for that one, because we know that everyone, even Tamil Nadu people or Karnataka people, we want more water. We depend on agricultural. That lot of water, the 80% of dam water, it will go for agricultural sector, because we are depend on that water only. The Kaveri river is the main heart of our, we can say the state of our. The Kaveri river is our main heart of states. Our state's main heart is Kaveri river, because we are dependent on that river water only, especially in North Karnataka people. That reasons our demand is more, supply is less. In that time sometimes we were not supplying enough quantity of water for Tamil Nadu, so they are not ready to accept that one, because even though they are having a lot of water resource, sometimes they are asking more water for us, because they can't ready to accept even single drop of less water as permitted government or the what law. They're not ready to accept single less quantity of water in that season. They should want, they want full, that what government is suggested to supply for them. That much water every year they need, and they're not ready to. If our Karnataka government said, so we are not having this much, we are having water scarcity, and we are not this time we can't give more water. If they said, they're not ready to accept that one, they are not ready to agree also. So that reasons some lot of issues there related to water. So that is very much important to learn that legal system, how that works, and what is the water, different water law is there, what legislation system is there in that water. That everything we need to study in this chapter. Substance of national water laws, water rights and allocation. Water is a facultative resource. This is water right is the right to use water, not to own it. Who is initiated to use what water, when, where, and how are challenging issues of law that must be covered in legal framework under provision of dealing with water rights and allocation. At the international level, the governing rule is that each and all water course states that share the waters of an international water course have correlative duties and legal instruments. Under international water law, it's rule to customary and widespread treaty law that each state up and downstream of water course and is insulated to equitable and reasonable use of waters of international water codes. At the national level, concepts of property law have been used in the management of water resources to ensure certainty and consistency of water use in the form of water rights. As we discussed, the same thing, the water right is the right to use water, not to own it, as I told before. And also, who is insulated to use what water, when, where, and how are challenging issues of law that must be covered in legal framework under provisions of dealing with water rights and allocation. That legal frameworks generally dealing with the water rights and allocation, how you are supplying the water each and everyone, how the public using that water. The distribution of water is very much important. The water should get each and every person of our country. So that reason, National Water Policy 2000 2012 we need to study about water policy, because we know that water is very essential to human being, and that is one basic need for human being. So but we, as we know, that 3 by 4th of earth's surface is covered by water, and in that majority is in sea, so we can't use that water, and remaining only fresh water is availability of fresh water is very less, and that water is in the form of river or lakes, or moisture in the soil, in that form were available in that water. So that reasons we need to study, and we need to develop national water policy. And water available for consumption is frozen in polar region. It is that water is available, and remaining water is available with this lakes, rivers, or underground water. Um that or remaining in different forms is like moisture in the soil, or in that oil we can present in the vegetation, that can be consumed and utilized by human beings. Basically, thing is how to consume water, and what should be the policy for this water, so that we can sustain, and we can use it. Let us start from the beginning. National Water Policy 1983, the month of March, in the water set up by the government of India under the chairmanship of Prime Minister. This concept adopted National Water is Policy 1987. This was the first water policy in India they developed. In 1990, the government of India constituted National Water Board in the Secretary and Ministry and Water Resource Chairman, Chief Secretary of all the states, and uh, Secretary of concerned Union Ministers, and Chairman of Central Commission, who are the members of that board. The board was constituted in order to review the and implementation of national water policy of 1987. After this, after the reviewing this, resulted in revised form national water policy of 2012. Thereafter, need was again revised that policy, resulted in the formation national water policy 2012. The reason is revision of the policies, changing needs, and change in perspective of water resource planning, change in water allocation plan, and etc. Different. Now we can compare three national water policy, and national water policy 1987 and 2002 and 2012. The main perspective of this 2012 policy considered local, regional, and national context in its perspective. As in water allocation priority for concern 1987 and 2002, drinking water was according to highest priority, followed by irrigation and hydropower and navigation and industries, etc. However, 2012 policy, safe drinking water and sanitation has been defined for needs, followed by high productive allocations and other domestic needs, including need for animals, achieving food security, and support system for agricultural and minimum ecosystem needs. Now, as per the assess for safe drinking water concern, adequate drinking water facility for should be available for entire population, and where the people are struggling for scarcity of water. They mainly considered in 1987 policy. As per 2002 policy, the concerned adequate safe drinking water facilities should be provided entire population, urban and rural areas. Whereas 2012, the policy states minimum quality of potable water, essential health and health of the people, with it should be reach each and everyone of the citizen of India. What is the difference between policies? Let us move. What is the reason? What was the reason? Reason is the 2012 was. Now we can compare the three water policy.
The main perspective of national perspective is whereas 2012 policy considered local, regional, and national context in its perspective. As per the water allocation priority of the concern, 1987 and 2012, drinking water was according to the highest priority, followed by irrigation, hydropower, and navigation and industries. However, 2012 policy, the safe drinking water and sanitation has been defined its high priority. uh, other other domestic needs as also animals, food security, supporting sustaining agricultural and minimum ecosystem needs. Now, as per the SS2 safe drinking concern, adequate drinking water facilities should be provided entire population, urban and rural areas. This was mainly considered in 1987 policy. As per 99, as per 2012 policy concern, adequate safe drinking water concern should be provided entire population, both in urban and rural areas. Whereas 2012 policies changed. Minimum quality of potable water, essential health and hygiene to all citizens should be available within each of the household. This much ensured by the government. If what is the difference between policies? Let us move. What was the reason regime the policy 2012? That was numerous reasons led to the water policy 2012. Let us start. What is the reasons? Large parts of the country facing the water scarcity, rapid demand is there, rapid growth because of urbanization and uh, what we can see. Um, become water stressed. Rapid growth in demand of water due to population growth, urbanization, and changing lifestyle are posing serious challenges to water security. Issues related to water governance have not been addressed adequately. And also there is wide temporal and spatial variation in availability of water which may further increase. Temporal and spatial variation in availability of water, it means temporal means with respect to temperature, and spatial variation means with respect to changes of area. It means area changes, what happens, variations availability of water which may further increase. And access to safe water for drinking and other domestic needs still continues to be a problem in many areas. Further, access to water for sanitation and hygiene is more serious problem. Although groundwater is a community resource, but it is still perceived as an individual property. In addition to that, there are inter-regional, interstate, interstate, and also intersectoral dispute in sharing of water. As we discussed about sharing of water, there is a inter-regional, interstate, intrastate, and also intersectoral disputes is there sharing of water. So that reasons national policy must be required. So and national water bodies and drainage channels are being encroached upon and diverted for other purposes. So that is also one of the main reasons. The drainage water they're diverting for other purposes. That is also creating a problem. Or any water is diverting water. We can give that water bodies, the natural water is flowing in one side, and they're planning to divert that water to other places. It is also huge water scarcity problem creating. So that reasons whenever it problems happens, then it's going for national water policy. So this is the one of the reason diverting of water. Also the national water bodies and drainage channels are being encroached upon and diverted. Then many of the places they're encroaching the water body also. That is, we can say in our place also, one of the institution they are encroached one river side. So that we can say one institution, but we don't know. But in our Karnataka one institution, we are know that institution generally that issues comes in paper also. That college is encroached some river place. So because we know that one, some if the any area, any person, his area is in a river line, and he is planning to encroach that river, or that sometimes they are constructing, even though that one huge allegations happen in one politician and actor also, because they are constructed their homes above the drainage. We know that the drainage means major drainage. In the above they are constructed their houses. So that is also created large issues. So why means they are encroaching, that we are calling encroaching of the water bodies. That is also, we if you don't having any national water policy, then these things can happen. So we need to develop some authorities in different, we need to reframe the all the policies. So that reason these three policies are implemented. These three policies are implementing, and they're changing the related to water resource related. In before that olden days, the 1987, what in framed in that regional national water policy, in that time that was not that much changing, that much encroachment problem. And now it is rapid urbanization is developing. So in that time the encroachment is a major issues, and encroachment is creating a lot of huge challenges for water resource department. So that is one reasons. And water pollution is growing to catastrophic state. And even water pollution, we know that one, how the water pollution is changing. The people are not bothered of its pollution, because a lot of urbanization and industrialization happens in the city, then automatically the pollution is created. So that person, if you want any license to permit permission for develop a new industry, we should give assurance that we are not polluting that water, that industry water, we are not diverting from drainage or that kind of any river water. So that assurance they should give to the concerned authority, then only we can give the permission. And that is also one of the important points in related to that one national water policy. And there is low consequences about the overall scarcity and economic value of water. So we know that one, we are not concerned about economic value and the low consciousness about the overall scarcity. We know that as we discussed about water scarcity, we are not worrying about the water scarcity, because we know that on water scarcity is not a big problem for us, especially for our region, coastal regions people. We are not worrying about the water scarcity. Anyhow the water will come in June, July. So that we are our level of what we can say demand of water, it will go in neutral way. And then whenever that supply we want, in that time we are getting the enough quantity of supply. So and demand also, if it is demand increase, also supply we are getting more number of water, so enough quantity of water. So that reasons we are not worrying about scarcity of water. So that reasons we that in the 2012, that mainly their concern about safe drinking water to pure water, fresh water should get each and every person's of house of our citizen. So that should be reached, that fresh water should reach to each and every person. That is the main important agenda of in 2012 policy. In 2012 national water policy, they bought that kind of what now one system, they bring one system related to that only. So this one's very much important for in national water policy systems. So next we'll discuss about what is the silent features of national water policy, and how we can manage that one. We'll discuss about that one. And silent features, the major provisions under the policy. What is the major provisions of what is the silent features?
That Kaveri river, its origin from Talakaveri, and it is passing some of the states in our Karnataka, and some of the that Kaveri river, its origin from Talakaveri, and it is passing some of the states in our Karnataka, and some of the that Kaveri river, its origin from Talakaveri, and it is passing some of the states in our Karnataka, and sorry, some of the
There is a lack of adequate trained personnel for scientific planning and water management. And more thing is holistic and interdisciplinary approach at water related problems is missing. Water resource projects are being planned and implemented in fragmented manner. The public agency in charge of taking water related decisions tend to take these on their own without consultation with stakeholders. The water resource availability and quality is changing. And one more thing, the gradually inadequate maintenance of existing irrigation infrastructure results in wastage and underutilization of available resources. Thus, there is a widening gap between irrigation potential created and utilized. And although the groundwater is a community resource, but it is still perceived as an individual property. As we told and last time, we are not able to implement groundwater law for borewells because everyone is property as water is individual property. We know that when we water can use it, but we are not supposed to tell that property is mine and that water is mine property, and we can't own it. That kind of system is there. Still, the people are perceived as an individual property. There are inter-regional, interstate, and intrastate, and also sectoral disputes in sharing of water. We know that one every in local, if you see then local region, and if you go in state regions and national level, every disputes creating related to water, border issues and everything is related to water only. There are a lot of issues there related to water, so that we need to solve that one. For that we need to make one develop one laws, and that the because we everywhere the disputes, it's creating lot of issues for our economy of our states or national level, or even international level also lot of disputes there. So that for that one proper systems we required for that to control the disputes and resolve that disputes. So natural water bodies and drainage channels are being encroached upon and diverted for the other purpose. We know that we all this one is discussed about this one, not national water bodies. And next we'll go for silent features of that water policy. What is the silent features? National policy of 2012 silent features of this policy are: water is a prime natural resource, a basic human need, and a precious national asset. Planning, development, and management of water resources need to be governed by national perspectives. There is need to draft national water framework law. Awareness about water scarcity should be fostered. A well developed information system for water related data at national state level should be established with a network of data banks and database integrating and strengthening the existing central and state level agencies. Water resources available to the country should be brought within the category of utilizable resources to the maximum possible extent. And this one we can say the water rates for and establish a standardized national information system with a network of data banks and databases. Resource planning and recycling for providing maximum availability, and to give importance of the impact of projects of human settlements and environment. Guidelines for the safety of storage dams and other waste related structures. The regulated exploitation of groundwater. Setting of water allocation priorities in the following order: drinking, water irrigation, hydropower navigation, industrial and other uses. The water rates of surface water and groundwater should be rationalized with the regard the intercept of small